What's up, fam? Welcome back from the winter break. Hope you enjoyed your time with family as much as I've enjoyed mine. One of the great things about being retired is the opportunity to spend the holidays with the kids and the wife instead of pushing for a year end in the corporate world. We were, however, up to some non-holiday things in December. Specifically, we completed the Porsche track experience driving courses to complete the requirements we needed to get our license with the SCCA. As a reminder, SCCA, then FIA. What we're going to walk through today is the 7 days of training that you're required to do with Porsche to qualify for your racing license. And there are certainly probably some other racing license schools that don't take 7 days, but I really was happy with the level of instruction I got, and the more time on track, the better. So the footage you'll see today will be from the first two classes that we did back in September, the 2-day high performance driving course and the 2-day master course. And then the 3-day master S course you'll see will be some footage just from December. To walk you through a typical day, after breakfast at the Porsche facility, you start in the classroom for some basic racetrack etiquette. Actually, and I'd love it, Jared and I have been talking, Jared's my producer. Jared and I have been talking and would love you to comment down below if you'd want us to go through some of that classroom stuff. It would include some animation and some other stuff that we've never done before. But if you're interested in a how to drive a race car mini-series, I think it's something we're physically able to do. But leave some comments down below if it's something that you would like to see. If you're on your smartphone, just keep scrolling down and then you'll get to the comments. You just got to go through all the other videos underneath this one. So after the classroom stuff, you work on racing technique and the do's and don'ts of a race car, as well as some of the physics behind the tire and the wheels and the pedals. Then straight to the track where you spend most of your day. After driving the course in a van, which is hilarious because they're Mercedes Sprinter vans that Porsche's taken all the logos off of. I love that kind of attention to branding, but I just think it's funny. You're in a Porsche doing some lead follow laps with an instructor. On days 1 and 2, you spend on the track following the instructors around in groups of like 4 or so. They ended up splitting our group up a little smaller, so it ended up just being a group of 2.
Alright guys, we're kind of a recon lap here, just to kind of get ourselves acclimated again. So I'll talk you about all the points here. So we'll bring the car right down here to the apex, right around the white line. Then we're going to track out touch this curbing on the outside. Now look at those scoring towers that come up the hill. White line on the driver's right. And then I'm going to come out, I'm going to put the right side tires down this seam here. Now see above my head, see that gravel trap above my head? I'm going to aim straight towards the left edge of that gravel trap, and that puts me right on the green cone. That keeps me from pulling over too soon. Then I'm going to bring it right down here to the inside. I'm going to accelerate it out, all the way out to the white line.
And then the instructors take you out and they show you the line and they talk you through the course and they give you pointers on what you're doing.
Sand trap, see what I was talking about there? So just inside the left edge, because you're coming over a little early. Okay. Third. Trail. Off the brakes, coasting. Second cone, yes.
Day 3, which is the first day of the master's course, is literally day 2 all over again. And that made a lot of sense to me, as the majority of the people are coming into the master's course months or years after taking the original course. And then on day 4, you're on the track by yourself. They do something pretty interesting. So instead of the instructors being on the track, they'll put different people in the corner worker stations, and where they watch your line from outside the car. You run a hot session of about 20 laps, and then you get together and they all comment individually on their corner. So there's a corner 1 instructor, a corner 5 instructor, just kind of through the sequence. December, we did the Masters RS course. Days 5, 6, and 7 start the same way as the Masters course did, in that day 5 is literally a repeat of day 4. Totally okay with that repeat again. The difference is in the skill exercises, you are doing a little bit harder on the skid pad than we've been into in the past, though instead of just trying to deliberately create understeer and oversteer, you are specifically pushing the car for all that it can do. And there's a bigger push towards data. So instead of some of the skill exercises and some of the things, you end up spending more time in the data. Now, you've heard us talk about the skill exercises quite a bit. What are the skill exercises, you might ask? That is a great question. Ultimately, they're extremely important. As part of the skill exercises, you work on heel-toe downshifting, braking, trail braking. You spend time on the skid pad through all of the courses, all the time on the skid pad. I truly believe the time on the skid pad is the single best thing I've done to become better at driving an automobile this year. In the beginning on the skid pad, you're trying to just get the car to create over and understeer so you know what it feels like and how to correct for it so you don't spin on. By the end of it, you're power sliding around in a figure 8, and then you have to move from a wet surface to the dry surface and do the same power sliding. At Barber, it is super helpful because turns 5 is literally this double apex that you want to have some power steer going through. You deal with a lot of opportunities for some understeer, like through the carousel or coming out. Just like at Laguna Seca, you end up with, this time it's 1 and 2 that you have the double apex, which is a perfect like power slide into the second apex. It's a skill set that you see at a lot of racetracks. There's a lot of opportunity to put it into play. To finish up the licensing, you do some passing exercises as well as some stop-go exercises and some flag work. Everything you'll need to be able to proficient at to go racing. You'll see some more of that here in the upcoming months. Finally, I wanted to finish this video with the telemetry data that we were talking about when we were going through the data lookup. When we were going through the data in class, we were comparing an instructor's lap to our lap. I don't have permission and or the right files to show you the instructor's laps, but I can, as you can see here, there are me side by side, and then you can really look at the braking input and the gas input. This system they use here, that goes, anything that goes through the OBD, you can pull it back out, but throttle and brake are all you need at my level. You can see the 2 different lines. The green line and the red line are just 2 different laps superimposed on each other, and they show you where the instructors are braking later. They show you where you are not. Good stuff. Finally, we are carred up for all 5 of our races. We are going to be in Spec Racer Ford's 3rd generation. We have 2 different teams we're working with. One in California that's going to do the 3 California races, and then one up in the Pac Northwest. We'll be racing in Portland and in Kent, Washington. We're trying to add another race in February. We'll let you know about how that goes, and we'll update you if we have more. Also, we talked earlier about doing some instructional videos. That's an area that we're really thinking about moving towards. So if you want to break down loss of traction, understeer, oversteer, racing lines, any of the basics that we're picking up in these classrooms, again, leave a comment down in the section below. If it's something you have interest in, then it's something we have interest in. Thanks for watching. Until next time, drive classy.